It's summertime here in the UK, which means two things. One, I am far too hot, and two, I have a lot of reading to do. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to talk you through the massive stack of books next to me that I would like to get through this summer. First of all though, I just want to thank the sponsors of this video, Oodie, because they have very kindly sent me their sleep tea. And yes, this is as soft as it looks. So I worked with Oodie before. I worked with them a couple of months ago. I will link that video in the description. They were kind enough to send me one of their Oodies, their oversized hoodies, which is super thick, fleece lined, and just super comfortable, and I have lived in it for months. But yeah, here in the UK, as I said in the intro, it is now summer. It is currently 28 degrees and just really muggy and close, and so definitely the Oodie is not for wearing right now. However, they have brought out their sleep teas, which they have kindly sent to me to review, and so in this video I'm going to show you the Oodie, and then we will get into my summer TBR, because I feel like I'm going to live in this for the next 2 or 3 months. So as you can see, it all comes beautifully packaged. I haven't opened this one up yet. I went for the blue tie-dye one. They have loads and loads of options on their website, which is obviously linked in the description. And also, if you want a £35 or whatever your currency is discount, you can use the code VictoriaReads35, and I will put that in the description as well. That gives you £35 or whatever your currency is. I'm pretty sure it works internationally, off your order, which I think is fantastic, and a really nice discount, so that you can get your hands on one of these. So it all comes beautifully packaged. Oodie is a company that works very hard to have minimal impact on the planet. All of the products are vegan. They also put in a little note with this parcel, because these their products used to come in like Hessian bags. They decided to get rid of those because there was a small amount, just moving the books out of the way, small amount of plastic used in those. So they've got rid of those to try and reduce their plastic use. And then, as it says on here, it says, I'm made from soft and breathable bamboo mixed with a little bit of elastane to keep you cool and comfortable. Designed for napping, chilling, and everything in between. And I'm really excited. This arrived a couple of days ago. Oh yes, and it's got sleeves. And I've been like eyeing it, because I know I'm just going to live in this until the heat wave is over, and then I'll go back to my usual Oodie. So as you would with the thick like winter Oodies, this one has the hood. It's one size fits most, so it's oversized. It's got the it's got the sleeves with the cuffed wrists, which I really like, and it's just really soft. You also have, I will put a picture in of me wearing this in a second. You also have the huge pouch at the front, which I find really useful for just like if I'm pottering around and I've got my earphones in, like the holder for that, it can hold a book. I've seen my friends with their cats in these. Mine will not oblige for that, but it's just a really useful pocket to have on the front. So let's put this on. I'm going to take my glasses off, which now means I actually can't see you guys at all, because my eyesight is not the best these days. Yeah, this is so soft, and like I've already said, it's designed to keep you cool and comfortable during warmer months, wherever you are. So I love it. Oh my goodness, I'm honestly, I feel like the next few months of vlogs, you're going to be seeing this a lot. Okay, so like I said, it's really soft and oversized. I love it. So yeah, if you want to get your hands on one of these, but you would like a nice discount, the code will be in the description, and you can click that below. But yes, this is definitely a win for me. And like I said, I really like, I think I said this in my other video, I really like that the sleeves are cuffed, because then they don't get in the way. I've had like similar-ish products before that don't have the cuff sleeves, and then as you're reading or whatever, they just move, whereas these stay in place. I'm also someone that struggles with anxiety, and so having a little bit of pressure on my pulse points can be helpful for that. So yes, and then also, as you saw when I put it on, we've got the huge hood, which wow, there's my thumbnail, which yeah, I also really enjoy. So yeah, there we go. Okay, let's talk about the books that I want to read this summer. So I have a massive stack here. I have 16 books to talk about, so I'm going to try and go through them fairly quickly. And they are a mix of things. Some are books that I need to read for a variety of reasons. Some are books that have been specifically recommended to me from my friends. And then others are like, I feel like have summer vibes. And then there are a couple that I bought recently and I'm just really excited. I want to read them like before that excitement fades. So the first one is a bit of a cheat one to put in because I'm only 100 pages from the end, so you'll definitely see it in my June wrap up. But a book that I was am incredibly excited about for this summer is The Shadow Cabinet by Juno Dawson. This is the sequel to Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which was one of my favourite reads of the start of the year. I feel like it was January I read that one. I can't talk too much about this because this is a sequel, but HMRC is about a kind of alternative England where witchcraft is real. And we are following Her Majesty's Royal Coven. So they are a government department that kind of monitors and controls witchcraft in England, in the UK. And we are following a group within that coven. So we follow them from when they're about 11, when they are first initiated and discovering their powers. We then jump forward 25 years and they are grown women with families and lives of their own and jobs and all that stuff. And there is a threat that is rising and they have to kind of come back together to work out what they're going to do. Apologies if there's background noise. I have got every single window in my house open right now because it's so warm. So yeah, and it's about that. And I adored it. I feel like if you grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, it's definitely a book for you because there are lots and lots of references to so many like things from my childhood and my teenage years, so I kind of love the nostalgia of that. I love the relationships that Juno Dawson had written between the women. There's all kinds of rep in that book. We've got trans rep, we've got lesbian characters, we've got bisexual characters, we've got non-binary characters. There are black characters in there. There are discussions of feminism, what it means to be a woman, all of that stuff. I just loved how it was all done. It's also got some massive twists and turns, some of which I saw coming, some of which I did not, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is the next one. This arrived in my house about 3 days ago, and like I said, I've got about 100 pages left because I cannot put this down. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, so I'm very excited to finish that off, but I just wanted to put this in because it was definitely a highly anticipated book for the summer. Okay, then I've got two books that I've got kind of a little stack of books I need to read for various reasons. The first two are ARCs that were very kindly sent to me by BookBreak in exchange for an honest review. I like to read ARCs the month before they're due out so that I can kind of be part of the conversation as the book comes out, and if I enjoy it I can be there to help kind of recommend it and hopefully build some buzz around it. So two that I have, the first one is out on the 20th of July and this is All of Us Are Broken by Fiona Cummings. This is the follow-up to, what was the other one she wrote that I really enjoyed last year, and it's not going to tell me, is it? This is the second in a new kind of police procedural series, Into the Dark. That was the first one that I read last year, and we're now following Detective Saul Anguish, which by the way is a great name for a detective, on a new mystery. So it says on the front, the family falling apart, the couple with murder in mind, and the detective on the trail. And that's kind of already all I want to know. I haven't really read much of the back. Sounds really dark, sounds really interesting. I'm in. So we've got that one. I also was lucky enough to get sent an ARC for The House Hunt by C.M. Ewan. I read the interview by them, I feel like either earlier this year or the end of last year, and it just descended into complete madness. So I'm quite excited for this one to do the same thing. And this one, again, I haven't read too much into it. It says, newly renovated Victorian townhouse in enviable London location with modest back garden. Large open plan living space with few places to hide. Finished to exceptional quality with high-end fitted kitchen and sharp top-of-the-range appliances. Bay windows and skylights throughout, features rear attic bedroom and refurbished basement for extra privacy. And then on the back it just says, your dream buyer or your worst nightmare. So I'm very intrigued because, like I said, the other one that I read from this author just descended into absolute chaos, and it was a really fun, fast ride. And this is out in August. 31st of August this comes out. This is the ARC cover, but the actual cover will look like this. So those are two ARCs that I've got. Then I have three books that are part of the same series because I am part of a read-along. And that is the Kiss Quotient series by Helen Huang. I will link my announcement video in the description, but I'm reading these with a lovely group of ladies led by Chloe at Chloe Reads Books. We've also got Mel and Emily joining us, and then also Laura, who's over on Instagram. But like I said, I will link that video in the description so you can see what we're up to. But June is for the Kiss Quotient, July is the Bride Test, and then August is the Heart Principle. I've only read this first one, so I'm excited to read the others. These are all romance books, and they're companion novels, so I don't think it's the same couple all the way through. I think it's like family members or a friend of a friend or something, and all of them have got neurodiverse rep in them. I really enjoyed the Kiss Quotient when I read it a couple of years ago, so I'm excited to reread it and then get into the other two as well. Okay, then I have what is currently the oldest book on my TBR, which is from last August, and I will put my 2023 intentions video in the description if you'd like to go and see that, because in that, one of my intentions was to not have any books older than a year on my TBR, and this one obviously will come up as a year old in August, so I will hopefully be reading it in July, and that is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I bought this book as part of a vlog that I actually then never ended up filming. I was going to do a vlog where I read books with characters with the same first name as me. This has got a character called Victoria in it, so I bought it and then I didn't make the vlog, but I'm intrigued enough about this. I've heard that it's fun and a bit kind of hyper realistic, or a bit kind of, well, as the title says, crazy, and I think we're following a girl who starts dating a guy and doesn't realise just how rich his family is, and then she goes home with him to Singapore for the summer and is kind of introduced to this whole world that she wasn't aware of. So yeah, we're going to give that a go, hopefully in July, but definitely by August. Then I have two books that I'm reading because friends of mine want me to read them. So the first one is The Wyford Code by Janice Hallett. I adored The Appeal, and the other one, what's the other one, something about angels, can't remember, but I've only heard most people be really negative. The Mysterious Case of the Appleton Angels, that was it. I've only heard mostly bad things about this one, so I'd skipped over it. This is her second book, because like most of the reviews that I've seen has been really negative, so I was like, right, I'm not going to bother reading that one. Then Charlotte from Books and Bargains read this, loved it, gave it 5 stars, and was really insistent that I read it, and I was a bit umming and ahhing, and then we basically did a trade where she would read Her Majesty's Royal Covenant by Juno Dawson in exchange for me reading this one, and I was like, okay. And then she immediately went and picked up HMRC, so I was like, right, I better buy this one and get reading it. Side note, she gave that book 5 stars, so I was clearly right. So we're going to give this one a go. I am sceptical, I can't lie, but we'll give it a try and we'll see what I think. And yeah, I'm not even entirely sure what it's about. I think it's about a guy who's trying to crack a code in some books from his childhood, and because it's Janice Hallett, it's told in mixed media, and I think it's audio files, which I think is where a lot of people have struggled with this book, but we will give it a go and see what I think. And then the other one that I'm reading, because I have a friend that wants me to read it, is Still Life by Sarah Winman. The lovely Amelia from Amelia Barlow Books recommended this directly to me when she did this beautiful video to celebrate her 1 year on Booktube, which I will also link in the description, where she was recommending books to people that she felt like had helped support her channel. And she said some very lovely, kind and unnecessary things about me in that video. And she recommended this, and I feel like it's a summary read. I mean, such a beautiful edition. And look at these end pages. So we're not doing a holiday abroad this year, and I feel like this is going to be like the closest I get to it, because this is set in Tuscany, and we've got Ulysses and Evelyn, and it just says these two unlikely people find kindred spirits in each other, and Evelyn's talk of truth and beauty plants a seed in Ulysses's mind that will shape the trajectory of his life and those who love him for the next 4 decades. Set in the moving from the Tuscan hills to the East End and the piazzas of Florence, Still Life is a sweeping, joyful, richly peopled novel about beauty, love, family and fate. And Amelia recommended it to me specifically because she knows I like historical fiction, but she also knows I like descriptions of food, and I'm told there's lots of really good food descriptions in this, so I'm excited. Okay, then the next 3 books are books that I just was looking at my shelves and I was like, these just feel summery. I'm not a massive seasonal reader, but like these books feel like they should probably be read in the summer, and I'm just mostly just going off vibes and kind of covers and stuff. The first one is one I bought recently, and that is Idol by Louise O'Neill. I mean, is that not the most summery cover you've ever seen? Louise O'Neill wrote Only Ever Yours, which you can see there, which is one of my favourite books of all time. I haven't loved any of her other books as much as that first one, but I have heard really good things about this. And this is my kind of like beach read, because I feel like it'll be quick and I'll fly through it, but it's also got lots to say. And we're following Samantha, who is an influencer, and she is accused of sexual assault, I think, and she gets caught up on the wrong side of the Me Too movement. And it's about what happens to her. And like I said, with lots of these, I haven't really looked into them too much. I don't like to know loads when I go into books, but I know enough to know that I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, this is definitely one that I will read in the next couple of months. Then I have Bernardine Evaristo's Mr. Loveman. I feel like somebody gifted me this. Yeah, it was from lovely Laura. And it says happy half term. I think this might have been from October of last year. And like, again, this just feels like a summary cover. Like when I was looking at my spines, I was like, oh yeah. And we're following Barrington Jedediah Walker, Barry to his friends, trouble to his wife. And I think he's been married a long time. He's in his 70s, 74 years old. And he's actually having an affair with his male best friend and has been for a long time. And I think this is about how that all unravels. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I've read a couple of Bernardine Evaristo's books, and this is the first one that I've read actually that's not in verse. This is in normal prose, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I was looking, I was like, that's definitely one. And then I also feel like summer is the time to read spicy romance books. This is the Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Dannon. I read and loved The Roommate, which you can just see there, by Rosie Dannon last year, which was a surprise 5-star. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. This is a companion novel, so we're following one of the characters from that book, and I have only heard bad reviews of this book, which is disappointing. So I kind of want to read it. I also dropped it from the top of the stairs to the bottom, which was an accident on my way down to film. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous to read this because I loved the first one so much. But also I feel like the summer is the time to do that, and we'll see how we get on with this. But this is about Naomi, who runs a sex positive startup, and she basically needs money, she needs funds. But she's struggling to get people to take her seriously because of the nature of her company and her business. And so she gets involved with a rabbi, I think, who is trying to like inject some life back into his synagogue. And so they pair up. So yeah, I don't know loads about it. Like I said, I've only really heard negative things. Like Chloe told me not to bother picking it up, but I already owned it. So I was like, we'll try, we'll see. And then I have 4 books left, which I don't think are particularly summery books, but they're just books I've bought recently and I want to read them before some of that excitement leaves. So the first one I've got is Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. Home is where the heart bleeds is what that says at the bottom there. And I know this is not a summary cover, but it was also a cover for me. I don't really want to think about what that says about me. But this is about a girl whose father, her serial killer father, murdered his victims and buried their bodies beneath the family home, and then she has to go back for some reason and things go from there. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by that, but well aware that it's not a particularly summery cover. I've also got A Certain Kind of Hunger by Chelsea Summers. I mean, I feel like pineapples are a bit summery. I think this is about cannibals. Cannibalism is like a niche reading interest of mine. And again, I just want to read it. So yeah, at the very end of this on the back says, there's something inside Dorothy that she's finally ready to confess. But beware, her story just might make you wonder how your lover would taste sauteed with shallots and mushrooms and deglazed with a little red wine. And I feel like this might be one of those books that's going to inappropriately make me laugh out loud. So there we go. I've also got Haven't They Grown by Sophie Hannah. I feel like this was a gift as well. Yes, it was. Who sent me this? Oh yeah, the lovely Lisa sent me this. And again, this is one that I saw Chloe talk about recently. I think it would just be a fast-paced thriller. It just says 12 days have passed, the children don't look a day older. And I think it's about this woman who has an ex-best friend, and she kind of drives past a house one day. She kind of can't resist just like having a look and seeing how they are. And it's been 12 years, but the kids are the same age that they were when she last saw them. So I want to know how that's possible, basically. I'm just nosy. So I'm very intrigued by that one. And then the last one was also a really anticipated release for the summer, which was released early somehow. And that is 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Bastarrica, who wrote Tender as the Flesh, which is also a cannibalism story. And these are short horror stories. And I haven't looked at this at all because I don't want to know. It's Augustina Bastarrica, there she is here. She wrote one of my favourite books of all time. She released a short story collection that was translated into English. She is an Argentinian author, yes, Argentinian novelist, and I bought it, and I also love this cover, so this was definitely getting read shortly. This is actually in my like June stack. So those are some of the books that I want to get to this summer. Very excited for summer. At the time of filming this, we have 6 weeks left of term. I'm an English teacher in case you're new here, and I'm very much on countdown. this school year has been brutal, and I'm looking forward to 5 weeks of reading, spending time with my family, relaxing, not being on a timetable, all of that good stuff. And these are some of the books that will definitely feature in those 5 weeks, and just in the summer in general. Just a quick reminder that if you would like to get yourself one of these Oodie sleep teas or any of their other products on the website, you can get £35 off by using the code VictoriaReads35. I will link everything you need in the description, so you can head there and have a little look at their website. I'm really enjoying this. This is definitely keeping me cool and comfortable, and I feel like I said, you guys are going to probably see quite a lot of this in vlogs over the summer. If you got to this point in the video, leave me the sun emoji, because it is really, really hot here in the UK as I'm filming today, and it looks like that is going to be what life is like for the next few weeks. Please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone, bye!